skills and strategies needed to understand visual images regardless of their context. So, when we say visual literacy, it is for us to, it means those beyond merely seeing images. So, it encompasses the skills needed to interpret and communicate through visual effectively. So, an example for this is kuan ng infographics. Familiar mo na? Ang infographics kay kuan na siya kanang combination na siya of visual elements like graphs, charts, and illustrations with textual information to convey complex data in a visually appealing and easy to understand format. So, to be visually literate in this context, one must be able to interpret the visual components of the infographics to understand the relationships between the visuals and dominant text and extract meaningful insights from the combined visual and textual information presented. So, example of visual literacy is kanagani kung sa what we see nga kanang makabasabtan na to, like for example kanang makuan ta og graphs mga chart like ang knife pansiran nga kuan siya kanang critical ka-involve ni siya og critical thinking skills. So kanang ma-analyze nato kung unsa ang atong makita like this, for example this picture kung unsa yung makita ani unsa man siya sa inyo ang pag-interpret ani nga picture.
Jungle.
Visually literate pa na guys. So, maka-interpret na kung unsa ang atong makita. So, that is visual literacy. Kung unsa ang atong kuan nga maka-comprehend na sa unsay kuan nga kanaganing information i-convey nga information.
When you say verbal creativity, it is all about skill set that enables individuals to adapt the ever-changing world around them. So, example, in today's fast society, so we're able to create creativity that allows people to respond effectively and to the new challenges and opportunities. Next is, according to Florence Nicholas-Disciplinary NASA 2017, recognize creativity as important for the development of a fully functioning, mentally healthy, well-regulated, and professionally successful individual. So when we say verbal creativity, it is important for individual development. It plays a crucial role in personal growth and success to contribute mental well-being, educational achievement, and career advancement. Next is divergent thinking is a useful concept for identifying, supporting, and measuring creativity as a process to actualize oneself, manipulate internal and external symbols, as creation of illustrative ideas based on his or her knowledge stances regarding people and objects to produce, both according to Hassan versus So when we say divergent thinking, it involves generating multi-pronged solution to a problem. It's a key aspect of creative process. It allows individuals to explore alternative purposes and uncover novel ideas. So there are four components of divergent thinking. First is fluency. It refers to the total number of ideas or optional solutions and generated for an open-minded. So when you say fluency is generating multiple thinking about multiple concepts. So when we say originality is the aspect of creating or independent works is about statistical frequency or responses related to the task of creating the idea. So when we say originality is coming up with our unique ideas, this is elaboration. So elaboration is the ability to add idea with details and ability to create an intricate plan. So when we say elaboration, it is the expanding of our idea with details.
Okay. So moving on to the next or the last topic of the arts and creative literacy is the aesthetic. So when we hear the word aesthetic, atong maunawaan is bata, nice, or fashion, like aesthetic. So the definition of aesthetic is the philosophical study of beauty and taste, closely related to the nature of art and the interpretation of individual works. So the aesthetics in the philosophical study of beauty and taste, it's related to the nature of or how we interpret or evaluate individual works of art. So the realm of experience includes the beautiful, the ugly, the sublime, and the elegant. It encompasses taste, season, fine art, contemplation, sensuous enjoyment, and charm. So the nature and scope of aesthetics deals with the nature and value of art. Involves responses of natural objects expressed in terms of beauty and ugliness. So, the nature and scope of aesthetics kay gabon siya sa base sa two terms, the ugliness and the beautiful. Then, the term beautiful and ugly are involved and application and two subjective in meaning. Perception of beauty varies based on individual judgment and perspective. So the perception of beauty is subjective, varies based on individual judgment and perspective. What one person finds beautiful, like sa katawa lang, kita siya ang object niya, find niya as beautiful, but another person will find it ugly. So it is personal and subjective experience that can differ from person to person. Kaya siya ay on terms of beautiful and ugly are subjective and wrong in application. Next is aesthetics and nature. So the significance in appreciating nature beyond beauty and ugliness. So it is important for us to know the beauty and ugliness in aesthetics. So describing natural phenomena in diverse terms beyond beauty. And aesthetics plays a crucial role in understanding beauty, taste, and art. So same na siya, goes beyond the traditional concepts of beauty and ugliness and encompass a broader range of perceptions and interpretations. brilliant siya, dapat na siya creativity. So this allows us to develop a deeper connection and appreciation for the natural world. It expands our understanding by encouraging exploration and description of natural phenomena beyond the traditional concepts. So the aesthetic has three approaches. The first one is the study of aesthetic concepts or the analysis of the language of criticism. So when we say language of criticism, it is fun to analyze and understand artwork. So it focuses on particular judgment, their logic, and justification. So dapat i-understand ang aesthetic judgment and the reasoning behind them. And clarify and define aesthetic concepts, enhancing our understanding of qualities like beauty and elegance. Examine the cultural and historical context that shape aesthetic evolutions. Facilitate effective communication and interpretation of artworks. Advance aesthetic theories by exploring different perspectives and expanding our understanding of aesthetics. And the second approach is philosophical study of states of mind, responses, attitudes, and emotions in aesthetic experience. So, it explores the psychological aspects of aesthetic experience. When we say psychological, it is our thoughts, perceptions, motivations, and behaviors when engaging in art. Also, it investigates how individuals perceive and respond to art, including their emotion and cognitive reaction. So the cognitive approach examines how cognitive processes shape aesthetic experience, including the formation of aesthetic judgment and the cognitive mechanism involved in the appreciation and understanding of art. Lastly, the philosophical study of aesthetic objects. So considers the aesthetic qualities and characteristics of artwork. Views aesthetics as addressing special objects in the world that evoke selective reactions described in aesthetic terms. So by studying these three approaches, these students can gain deeper understanding of how art is evaluated and appreciated, and how aesthetic judgments are formed. It involves delving into the principles and criteria that guide the assessment of artistic quality and interpretation of artworks. So the next one is integrating arts and creativity literacy into the curriculum. So the first one is physical development. So physical development is anaong bakit makita nato ideas, emotions, and insights through arts. The next one is teach creative thinking skills. So teach students about metacognition or thinking about their thinking. Nani siya sa ato one. First step of thinking about their thinking. Given the little ones through the process of brainstorming, reasoning, comparing and contrasting, problem solving, concept mapping, analyzing, evaluating, and more.
Naka-rate na. Ayun.
And number
Ba't ang
6,
i-upload lang po?
scheduling. Project-based curriculum and performance-based. Time and proper scheduling in either structured or unstructured manner. The number 7 is student-centered and personalized learning. It provides students freedom to choose on what they will learn, how they will learn it, and how they will demonstrate what they have learned. And number 8, incorporate arts. Integrates seamlessly music, art, drama, dance into a curriculum to develop creativity. Last two is integration of technologies. Encourage students to create or utilize blogs and websites. Blogster, VoiceThread, student blog publishing, video game design, coding, filmmaking, photography, global collaborative classroom project using Google Hangouts. And lastly, preparing the body and brain for creativity. So create activities that induce body-mind integration such as yoga, ballet, jazz, Zumba, calisthenics, and many more. So by implementing these approaches, we can enhance our creativity, engagement, and overall learning experience. Like sa art appreciation, so art is a product of creativity, imagination, and expression. So creativity, hindi lang ka mag-focus sa pagkagapat mo, yan ang puta sa mga box sa knowledge at sa art appreciation. So related na po siya dili kay topic ang is at sa mga aesthetics. So di lang tayo appreciate na to siya hindi na to siya appreciate na dira lang po to dapat sa nato i-understand yung beauty and taste